ఇంకా నోరు మూసుకుని నోరు మూసుకొని పని చేసి నోరు మూసుకునే రావాలి అంతే.
Yeah, Niranjan. Hello.
Yes.
Yeah. Now you can present the screen. Yeah.
Yeah. So if you can give an introduction to today's agenda so that everybody will aware about that. What we are
Okay.
going to
Yes.
discuss, and then I'll conclude.
Yes. So hi everyone. We will be going to start first the Git. Okay, we will be doing the commands for the Git, the basic commands like we need to do day-to-day life. Okay, and we have to work on the Git. And next we have the EKS, like we will be going to set up the EKS through the Terraform. Okay, so we will be setting the EKS cluster. And one presentation I will be showing for the Kubernetes ham, right? I have already done the setup for Kafka and Spark. So I will be showing how data engineering tools, right, we can set up in Kafka and Spark in the Kubernetes ham. So pipeline I will show later, but today I will be showing individual Kafka and the Spark. Okay, so we will be going to start first the Git session. So Niranjan will be going to present first the Git. Yeah, Niranjan, you can go ahead.
Okay. Thanks, Arun sir. So let me share my screen. Is it visible to everyone?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So for the software development life cycle, the Git is very much basic and very much essential for our day-to-day life, right? So when we'll discuss about Git, we should understand why Git is required, right? So Git is it may be very basic for you, for those who are joining first time, so they'll get so much of benefits to understand what is Git and all. Okay, so let me explain what is Git. So Git is a version control tool. Okay, by using we can maintain version of the software as well as we can develop the projects. What it will give us in return, the feature of that, it will provide the multiple developers will work for a project development simultaneously. Okay, and maybe developers will work remotely because they no need to sit in one place to discuss and to store a project, okay, in one specified location. So that's why Git came into picture, that everybody can contribute to the project according to their flexibility time and the project requirement change of their depending of the role. Okay, so you can see all the developers code should be stored at one place. Code integration should happen. That means when multiple developer will work together, all those like code will be integrated as well as to provide the microservices architectures. In order to do that, we need to have some repository softwares. So if I'll talk about source code repository software, there are so many. For now, I can tell you that SBN is something source code repository software. GitHub is there, Bitbucket is there, GitLab is there, and many more is there, right? So to connect with this all those repository, we need to understand how Git works. So Git is a tool, okay, DevOps tool, or you can say that software tool, so that we are able to connect to that remote repository. Okay, so we'll understand how we can take help of that Git in order to interact with our remote repository. So if I'll talk about a little more about advantages of source code repository softwares, so it will allow all the developers to connect to the repository server and integrate the code simultaneously. And also we can track all those changes, who has done the modification, when it has been done, and why, what is that purpose. All those things we can see by using commit ID, by checking the what all changes that done. Okay, and for that we need to collaborate our project with the participant, those who are going to contribute. And to connect with the Git repository, we need to have some terminal to access that repository. If you are using Mac, so Mac will provide you the access to that terminal, so that you can use the Linux command, basic Linux command, as well as you can do all those Linux day-to-day tasks, right? So if you are using Windows, if you are a Windows user, in that case you need to install GitBus, right? So GitBus is something, it is going to provide you the terminal. It is going to provide you terminal from where you can execute all those Git commands. To download the Git, we can use gitscm.com. Okay, from here, if I'll click on download, it will show me for the Mac OS, Linux, or Windows. So I'll click on Windows. So it is going to download it, right? So although I have downloaded, so I'm not going to download it again. Once the GitBus is set up, you can let me show you what is GitBus here. Yeah, you can see if I'll do GitBus open here, you can say it is going to give me a terminal like Linux. I can do list all those files. Okay, I can check the present working directory PWD. All those things we can all those Linux command will work here. First of all, we need to download that client tool to discuss about. Git, right? Is my screen visible? My notepad is visible to everyone?
I can only
No.
see that grid download page actually.
Okay, let me reset it. Okay, this time.
Yeah, see that. Visible.
Okay,
Yes,
okay,
now we can able to.
okay, maybe.
Basically, GitHub and GitLab both are same or are different?
Yeah, so the GitHub and GitLab both are like the purpose is same. Those are remote repository softwares. And they will work together with the Git. Git is a tool, I mean client. to interact with the Git repository. That will the very basic. In order to communicate with a remote repository, we need to have something to drive into, right? So Git is something from where we will connect to the repository. So for now, we are going to use the repository tool as GitHub. Okay, if you have a GitLab, so it will work similar way, but the console will face a different. So let me, although I have downloaded that client tool like GitBus. Okay, in order to work with Git, you need to install GitBus, or else if you are using Mac, so no need to install GitBus. It will directly work in your Mac terminal. Okay, till now we have discussed why Git is important, what is remote repository, and how the developer will contribute to the remote repository by remotely. They can work remotely, they can integrate the code at the same times, as well as they will provide a strong software development lifecycle methodology, right? So then to work with the GitHub, let me go to the GitHub. So I need to use GitHub or GitLab or Bitbucket. Every repository will work in a similar way, but the console you will able to see is quite different, right? So if I'll click on sign up, okay, you need to provide your you need to provide your mail ID. I'm not going to create a new account. Just to show, you have to provide your unique mail ID and then go to continue. It is going to share a token to your mail ID, and from then you will get the URL to set your password and user ID. Once it is done, you need to log into the GitHub, and then for that I'll use sign in. Although I have created, I'm not going to create it again. I have my username with me, which is Rockefeller, and then password I need to provide it here. That means I have created a GitHub account, okay, or else you can create a GitLab account, okay, or else you can create a Bitbucket account. All those will work in a similar way, but the functionality and feature will bit differ from one to another, right? And then once you log into the GitHub, you'll able to see the dashboard. You'll able to in the see there is something called create new repository in the home. Okay, so as I explaining that remote repository here we can create multi number of repository. Okay, public repository we can create n number of, but the private there have some restriction. Up to that limit we can create the repository. Or if you want to create all those repository in your private, okay, you need to purchase the enterprise plan. So that many enterprise organization they are preparing to create the repository, and they have taken the license from GitHub to use the private repository. Okay, that will provide you more secure and robust security features, right? So what we'll do, once we log into the GitHub, I'll create in new repository. Okay, once I'll create the new repository, it will ask something like some information from me to provide. I need to provide the repository name. For that, I can the repository name should be specific to your project. Okay, suppose that you are working in suppose that the project which is going to be like deliver for XYZ client. You can say XYZ, the company name, organization name, like this. You can give your project name. Repository name will be same. So that I'll pick my repository name as demo git. Okay, and that repository should not be same in your this account. So that should be your unique repository name. Okay, you can check and you can make it public or private, and then I'll click on create a new repository. Once we're done, you can see the demo git repository has been created, and you can see some of the instruction to work with the git. Okay, the first it is going to provide you the SSH and HTTPS. That means this URL we are going to use to communicate. This is the remote URL for my repository. You can see this is my GitHub URL, and this is my username, and this is my repository name, and dot is the extension. Okay, this URL I'll use to communicate with my remote repository, and for that authentication is required. That part also we'll see. And there is two approach we can work with the Git. Either you can go to your local directory, maybe I'll go some specific folder structure. Okay, let me delete all of those. Okay, if I want to develop my project here in this directory, I need to create some file and folder, and I need to push all those information to the repository. In that case, what I'll do, I'll use git init, and then I'll use git add. Git add means it is going to add some file or folder, and then I'll use git commit -m first commit. That means the commit message what you are going to push, that message is going to reflect, and then you need to select the branch name. So we'll discuss what is branch, what is commit, and also we need to set the remote origin. I mean, this is the origin of URL. Okay, and the another approach is that we can directly clone this repository. Okay, we'll directly clone this repository in our local, and from there we'll able to communicate and we'll able to push all those project related files. For now, we just create some file and folder, and then we'll try to push it to verify and check some of the commands. Okay, so once it is done, I'll copy this, and then I'll move to the project directory. Let's suppose demo git is the folder that I have created, and then from then here I'll use gitwas. Okay, I just open gitwas. Here what we'll do, I'll use git clone, and the URL that I have copied, I'll post it here. Hit enter. So it is going to clone this repository. You can see the demo git repository name has been like copied to my local. That means we have successfully cloned the repository. Okay. Then what we'll do, we'll list the repository from the command line. If I'll do ls-l, you can see my repository name demo git. Let me go inside of that demo git. Okay. Here you can see nothing is there inside of the directory because it is empty repository we have created. I'll try to create a file. Okay, let's suppose text dot txt. Okay, I'll create by using touch command. Okay, and inside of that I'll write to okay, I'll use nano editor to edit this text.txt, and then I'll write some content over there. Let's write it like first line. Okay, save it. Okay, so that means I have created a file inside of that repository. Okay, and that file I need to push it to my remote repository. How I will do that? Okay, to do all those things, I need to configure my username and my password. For that, what I'll do, I'll use git config global username. Okay, because I have just cloned this repository, and here I need to provide my mail ID. Okay, so in order to communicate with my remote repository, I need to configure my username and my mail ID. Okay, I'll paste it. My username will be
So actually the moment you create that GitHub account, you can able to access this terminal.
yes,
Desktop demo.
yes. Because I have not created the GitHub account right now. I have just shown how you can create, because although it was created previously, at that moment it will ask you to provide a unique username that should be unique across the GitHub like global. Okay, so that username will be unique. I hope it's clear. I'm able to answer questions.
Yeah. Like so, this terminal. This terminal is we don't need to install in our system, right? Local system, GitHub. So that cloud version is fine, right? Once you create that cloud version, you can able to access this terminal, correct?
No. When you will create the GitHub account, you will not get that terminal in your local. For that, you need to use Git client tool. Okay. This is the link to
Oh.
download the Git client. I use this URL to download GitBus. This is called GitBus to interact with the Git repository. If you are using Mac, you can do that. If you are using Linux, you can do, here is the command. If you are using Windows, you can click it, Windows. It is going to show you the installer 64-bit or 32-bit. I'll click on 64-bit. You can see it is going to download now, right? So if I'll double click and as all the software that I'm installing the similar way, I can do that as well. Okay. Once after installation, it will give us the GitBus terminal. For that, I can use GitBus. From here. You can see there is Git GUI. It is going to provide the GUI like by using like right click left click. I can use monitor the GUI, but I'll use GitBus because it is going to provide you terminal. From then I'll interact with my repository. Is that clear?
Got it. Thank you.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
So yeah. So what we have done, we have just configured our username as well as our mail ID, right? So once it is done, what we'll do, we'll have to some authentication because username and mail ID will not make a authentication with your repository. For that, what I'll do, let me clear the screen. I'll use SSH keygen. Okay, SSH hyphen keygen. Okay, this is the command used to create a pair, public and private key. In order to exchange my public key with the GitHub account, okay, here I'll use SSH keygen. It is going to ask me the location where it can store. Okay, let me enter the default one. Okay, it is going to override yes or no because I have although the same SSH key, so I'll try to override it here. Yes. Okay, passphrase is something that it's like password. If you want to protect your key with your password, you can provide that. Because I'm not going to provide any password, I'll only press hit enter. Okay, so it is just created a pair of public and private key, right? So I'll try to cat it. Okay, I'll copy this. Cat means simply opening this file. Okay, you can copy this content. This is the public key, right? And you can go to your GitHub. Let me open to GitHub. Okay. Okay. From the GitHub, you can click on your profile, go to your settings. And from then you can see there is something called SSH and GPG key. There are two ways to for the authentication with your Git remote repository, right? So I'll use SSH key. Here I can see I have created a SSH key from GitBus. I'll try to paste it here. I'll click new SSH key and I can give a name to my SSH. You can give any name, a title. Okay. And then the authentication key, this sign-in key or authentication key. I'll choose authentication key. Here I can provide that key. Okay. Once you'll provide that, you can do add SSH. That means your local system configured with your repository. Okay. So it will not going to ask the password. It is not going to ask the password again and again to work with the repository. Okay, once it is done, what we'll do, we'll come to our Git terminal. Okay, so you can see I am inside of my demo Git repository. Okay, this is my folder and this is the repository name. And under that, I have created a file for test.txt. If I'll do ls-l, you can see as well. To interact with the Git, there are some commands. There are some commands you can say. We have used git clone command. Okay, git clone is something that to clone the repository. We have just cloned the git remote repository to our local machine from the GitHub. Okay, For that, we have used the syntax git clone and the URL, SSH and HTTPS URL. And then we'll use git status. Okay, git status is something. So it is going to provide you the status. I mean, what you have done with your repository. If I use git status, you can see there is something called on track files. Okay, that means we have modified something in this text.txt. Okay, so if I use the git status command, it is going to provide me the status of the remote repository. Okay, because the local repository changes and the remote repository changes should be same. Or else, if there is something modified in the remote repository, we need to clone it. Or else, if I have done something in my local, I need to post it. So in local, I have created a directory called text.txt and I have modified something. I have written something inside the text. If I'll show you what is on track files. On track file is something, if here you can see in the git status, there are three stages. Okay, if there is something called status stage files, that means the files which are added for the commit. If there is something called on stages files, the files which are modified but not added to the commit. If you can see the on track files, that means newly created file. If I can show you the message here is clear that on track files, that means I have just recently created that text.txt files. So that's why it is showing me this message. Okay, once created that file and I check the status, that means it is on track. I need to push that file to my git remote repository. For that, I need to add it. Okay, so I'll do git add and then the file name. Okay. Okay, it's something like a warning for copy of text. Again, I need to check the git status. Here you can see it is the status changed, okay, to the committed. That means to be committed. That means we have added this file to our local repository. I mean, local repository is something and remote repository is something. We have done changes in our local repository and then we need to commit it. Okay, to commit means we need to provide what we have done in the inside of that file. The message that we want to convey to other people, they can check. Okay, for that I'll use git commit -m and the message name. I can say I have created text.txt file for them. That means the message that you want to display in a remote repository, what you have done inside that file. Okay, so for that I'll use git commit and then hit enter. Okay, once you have added the file and then committed, then the work is to push the code. Okay, to push, I need to set the remote repository to the upstream project. If I'll use git push, okay, so it is going to push my code to remote repository. Okay, before pushing that, I need to set my project to the upstream project, git remote add origin and the repo URL. Okay, in that case, what it will do, it will make my remote repository and it will provide a name to that remote repository as origin, and then I can provide my URL. Let me go to my GitHub. Okay, this is the repo that I have created, and then I can copy the URL. That means already I have added that remote origin. So that's why it is saying remote origin already exists. Okay. Once it is done, I need to push that code to my remote repository. For that, I'll use git push command.
Actually, why they required this remote origin? Yeah.
Yeah. So origin means it is like something identification, because you are working with the main branch, right? So if it will make it different branch, so it is not going to work. That means you have set by default. So origin means by default branch will be main. So it is going to push all those code in the main branch. If you want to create another branch, okay. So in that case, it is not going to push that branch, right?
Can I add
Oh.
something?
Yes, yes, please.
Yeah, origin is nothing but reference where we are working to that repository.
Right, exactly. Okay. So once we have set our origin, we need to push. So I used git push. You can say it clearly shown the message that it has pushed to my repository. Okay. So I need to re-verify it from the GitHub. I'll refresh it from here. You can see the text.txt file came here. Okay. If I'll see the content is first line, that means successfully we have pushed the local changes. Okay. And if you want to add something in the remote repository, that means other developer written something here, second line, maybe. Okay. We can directly commit from the GitHub as well. Okay. I'll try to commit it from here. Okay. Then what I'll do, I'll make something here. That means it is not going to push. Why? Because already there is something change has been done. But that changes should be available in my local in order to push something new. Okay. If I'll do nano.txt and I can write something. First line he has written second line, I maybe write third line. Okay. So why? Because I want to show you is that it is not going to push because we have not taken the latest changes from the remote. Okay. Other developer written second line. Okay. And we have written in local third line. Let's try to push it here. Before pushing, I'll try to add git art and the file name text.txt. Okay. In the working copy text will be replaced by, okay, this is the warning. And then I'll try to give a commit message. I can give the commit message second commit. Okay. And then I'll try to push it. Let's see what error it will cause. Okay, you can see there is something, the fatal error is come. And the message is showing that failed to push some reference to HTTPs. And the reason behind its updates were rejected where because the remote contains the work that you have not have locally. That means whatever changes in the repository are there, you have not taken it in local. Okay. So in order to resolve this issue, what we'll do, the best part is now we can fetch it. Okay. And we can clone it. Okay. Or the pool. If I'll use the git pool -- rebase, so it is going to pull all those latest changes from the remote repository. Okay, you can see we have successfully pulled that changes. If I'll cat that file, you can see the second line from the remote repository that has been copied to my local. Let me cat that. Okay, you can see there is something called second line. I have written third line, but from the remote, it has copied the second line. That means some developer written something here. And that is the clear message that reflected here. Because there are going to be some conflict. I have written something, other developer written something in same file. That is the issue. In order to resolve that issue, what we'll do, we'll discuss this developer. I mean, who has code like pushed these changes second line. I'll discuss that. Okay, is that needed for this project, or I'll try to discuss what line, why it has been pushed in the same file, because I already working on this directory. Okay, so I'll try to discuss with the developer and then try to resolve this conflict. Okay, if it is needed, then I'll keep it here or else I'll remove it. Okay, once after discussing with the developer, I need to clear the commit ID and these lines, because these lines will not provide you the access to post. Okay, I'll keep clean all those changes. I'll discuss with the developer. If I want to keep it, then I'll make it here as it is, and then I'll delete the message. Okay, and then I'll try to save it. Yes. Okay. I discuss with another developer and I make changes, as well as I have also pushed. This time I need to push. Let's see my changes. I mean, third line has been pushed or not. Okay. That time it is asking that you are currently on a branch to push a history loading the current defect, gate push origin. And then head remote branch name. Okay.
Use force.
Because already I have done rebase, so that's why I think it is the conflict.
Yeah, that's why you use force.
Git push origin head and the name of the remote branch. Okay, let's use that. My remote branch will be main, as I can see. Okay, here you can see the message is everything is up to date. Let me go to my remote repository and try to refresh. That means I need to check the Git status. Okay, that means whatever changes we have done, we have not modified. Okay, that means we have not committed because we have discussed with another developer and we have resolved the conflict, and after that we have not committed. So let me add that again. Okay, add it. Every time you have done something, you need to add it and commit it and then post. Then I need to provide a commit message. Okay, this time I need to provide some commit message as conflict resolved. Okay. And then I'll check the Git status. Okay. Interactive rebase is in progress onto this last command done. Okay. Okay. Git commit event, nothing commit working table. Okay. Let me try post it again. Okay. That means right now I have pushed the branch. I mean the files to my remote repository. Let me re-verify from here. Okay, here you can see the third line, whatever I have written in my local is present here, as well as the remote developer he has done is present here. That means this is the way that will collaborate with the different developer to make progress in our project. So these are some basic commands. So if I'll show you, I have written some note here. This is the command that we have used git status, and this is the command that I have used git r dot. So dot means all those file and folders it is going to be staged. Okay, and then we have used the git commit command to provide the commit message to the changes. And if I want to select the branch, so I'll select git branch -m main, because there could be many branches. Okay, and I need to provide the remote origin as remote URL of the working branch, and then I need to provide the git push -u origin master or dev branch or any different branch. Okay, and the thing is that we need to understand what is git branching strategy. Okay, here you can see I have just created one branch is called main branch. Okay, so we are not going to directly work with the main branch. So main branch is something which is going to use for the release purpose. Okay, so there could be many branching strategy in different organizations. The standard way is that main branch and then develop branch and then QA and then release and then research. Okay, or you can research may be there or may not be there. The main approach we are using feature Okay. QA and lab. Okay. First in the feature, when the project will come, there could be many feature, A feature, B feature, C. That means there may be so many functionality. So according to the functionality of the project is going to divide with the developers. So they will create their own branch. Okay. Here you can see only there is one branch called main branch. So the user, I mean another user have the access to Git. So what they will do, they'll create a branch called feature branch. Maybe my name is Niranjan. I'll create my feature branch Niranjan and then feature. Okay. So go to that branch. Okay. From here, I'll create a branch here. Okay. Here you can see new branch. I'll provide Niranjan feature or something. Okay, so that means whatever feature I will develop, I'll push that code into my branch. Okay, then I'll create it. That means all those code in my main branch, it is going to reflect in my feature branch as well. Let's change to my feature branch. Okay, this is Niranjan feature branch. Okay, you can see all those changes has been done here. I want to contribute myself something. I need to develop some code. I'll push to my branch only. I'm not going to push feature branch. That means the feature is used to develop the feature and functionality of the project. Once the feature has been developed by the individual contributor, they're going to push their code to the developer branch. Okay, develop branch. So there also you can create the another branch called dev branch from the main branch. Okay, main branch is the master branch. Okay, once all those code has been integrated and came to the dev branch, and in the dev branch all those unit test case and all those testing has been done in local, and they have pushed their code to the dev branch. Once it is come to the dev branch, then it will come the QA branch. QA means quality assurance. Okay, in this branch, after all those developed code has been tested to validate in another environment, there is another branching strategy for QA. Okay, once it is done, they're going to push that code into the main branch. Okay, from the main branch, they'll create another branch called release branch, and that release branch they are going to use for the production. Okay, this dev is for the development. This is for feature development. Okay, and this is for quality assurance, and this is for production. And this is the base. I mean, from this main branch, we are going to create all those different ones. And once it is came to the release, it is again going to push to the release branch. So this is the strategy that we'll maintain here. Why? Because I am saying when we'll join any organization, there could be different branching strategy. Accidentally, we are going to create those branches. So this is how we can create from the GitHub, right? We can create direct click on branch, and then from branch name we can create, or else we can create it from the terminal as well. So if I'll use git branch, maybe I can create a branch dev. So I'll use git branch dev. So what it does, it will create a dev branch out of main branch. Okay, to verify the branch, I'll use git branch branch -a I can use, or else only branch I can use. So you can see I have created a local branch, I mean dev branch. Okay, I need to move to that branch. What I'll do, I'll use git checkout command. Okay, so git checkout command is something is used to change from one branch to another branch. It is it will provide you to jump from one to another branch. Okay, I'll use dev. Okay, that means you can see switch to the dev branch. If I'll use the git branch, it is going to show me the current branch is dev. You can see previously the branch was no branch is set. It was providing the dev and main. Right now I have changed to the dev branch. I have created a branch called dev, and then I switch to the dev branch. Likewise, we can create the branch and we can develop the code in our development branch as well as from the feature branch, and then we'll push the code to the Git repository in order to collaborate. That's all. I mean, all those basic things that we have discussed today. If Arvind sir can add something, so it will be helpful for everyone.
Yes, one more question is there. In Git, we see many folders are there. Can you explain those? What
Yes.
folders are what purpose?
Okay. Sure. Okay. Let me clear the screen. Okay. If I'll click it ls, it is going to provide the only file. If I'll do ls-al, you can see there is something called .git. Okay. So inside of the .git, you can see some of the file and folder. Okay. That you are asking, right?
Exactly.
Okay. So dot ignore is something. Let me hide it. Okay. So dot ignore means you don't want to like push all those changes to your repository. Okay, that means you are ignoring something. Okay, if I use .git in my repository, although it has created by default, that means all those things will not going to change to my remote repository, because these all are the local repository data. I mean, you can see the rebase merge related information. You can check the git logs. If I'll use git log, okay, you can see all those logs, what and all history that I have done. Okay, in the commit ID, and the author is myself. Okay, so all this information where it came. Okay, it came from this file. Okay, all those information has been store here. If I'll see the config, that means all those configuration related to my repository will be stored here. If I'll check the head, the remote origin head, it is going to be stored. If I'll check about the commit history, so all those history will be come from here. So all these reference logs and information has been came from this right, the .git folder. Okay, this is the .git folder will create by default when you'll use git initialize command, or else it will clone it. So it is going to create it, because you need to have some local repository changes. You need to talk to your remote repository, all those changes, all those memory. So they are going to keep it here, as well as it is going to compare with the remote repository so as to provide you the solution to integration. Am I able to answer your questions?
The git log one line command, so that everyone should know, right? There is a very short command, git log -one line. So that will be showing the yeah, commit. It will be showing the in one line commit, right? It will be showing, and one command is a git diff. So git diff also, like a particular commit also, we can see the differences, right? So git diff, can you do only git diff? The operation must be in a work tree.
Okay,
I think
because I came to .git folder, so that's why it is not working.
okay.
I need to go back to one directory back. Okay, I think this time it should work. Yeah, there is no difference, so that's why it is not going to give us any message.
Whenever you do any git add and then git status, so whatever you see in git status, only you see the status is like you have untracked file or staging file, right? But if you want to see exact changes, right, whatever changes you are going to do in your local and what you are going to commit, so that those changes you can see with the git diff. It will be showing the changes. Okay, so that we can do with git diff. If you do any changes and okay, git status you do first. Yeah, it is showing the file wise changes. Okay, if this command, did you tell Niranjan, right? If you want to revert this change, suppose you don't want to wish to commit this file, but you don't want to add the file in staging, so there is a way like git restore. There is a file you can discard the changes, right? So that way we can do git restore command. Git restore command we can use. Okay, So just give the file, then it will discard the changes and it will be showing there is no changes, right? Now git status. Git status.
Yeah,
So there
it
is
is clean.
right. Okay. So next is okay. Yeah. So what we were okay, git diff you do. Now again you do the change so that we can see the git diff. No,
No,
right? Again you do.
up.
Yeah.
Fourth line you have added and we have restored that.
Because that change was discarded because you when you did
Yeah,
the restore, the changes were discarded.
This time we can try git diff. Okay, you can see those changes what we are going to change in our file.
Okay, suppose this git commit if I done. Suppose this revert the discarded changes you did when you have not added the file. Suppose you add the file. Now you do git add dot. Git add dot will basically add it all the file if you have more than one file, right? If you don't want to add one by one. Otherwise, if specific file you want to do, then you can give the file name. Okay. Now git status. Your file will be green, right? Git status.
Yeah.
Right. Now, now from here you want to discard your changes. So there is an option git restore minus stage and file. So this you will do. It will go back directly in the untracking. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So this is fine. Okay. Now git diff you see what changes are coming. Git diff.
There is
so
nothing.
No changes because we have made it the stage file, right? Okay. Now git commit you do, and then I will show the reset thing. Okay. So you do git commit. Suppose after commit, you think you don't want the changes, right? You want to revert the changes, right? So there is a reset is there. Okay. Now you want to reset. Okay. So git reset. Okay. First you check git log online, one line, like one new commit ID is created. Oh, git minus m fourth line added. Okay. Yeah. Do this. Git log.
Yeah.
So fourth line added commit is coming. So now this stage you think, okay, this commit is not for use pushing the data. So what is the thing? So you have two options you have. One is a git reset and one is a git revert. So difference between the git reset and git revert when you are doing undo changes, it will be creating a one extra commit. So whenever you are doing a small undo changes, so git revert is not good. Okay. So always go with git reset. And the git revert is basically making one extra changes, right? As a undo changes as a commit. So that will be creating your more history for the undo changes. So you will not be able to track the entire history. Okay. So if you use git reset, so git reset command you use git reset and give the commit ID. So this commit ID, like last commit you gave before this commit, because this is the latest commit. So we have to commit reset this one. Okay, so it will not create any extra commit. Okay. Okay, now you check the file. Your file is revert back. Okay,
it is modified
to the untracked changes. So it means like my file which was going to the commit to push, right? So now it is not going, right? So you can do some more changes and then you can add commit and then finally you can push. Can you do that? Like you can add some more changes in this file.
Yeah.
Add the fifth line. Okay. Suppose something you remember, right? Okay, I have to add one more line. Okay. And now you do git add, same process you do. No, add you do. Git commit fifth line. Okay. Git push.
You need to set the upstream project. Okay. This time we will try to push the code into a dev branch. Okay.
Yeah. and then we will create a pull request to merge the branch. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So code is pushed to the dev branch. Go to the UI. And if you want to use Bitbucket, that is very easy tool. Like we can use here is the compare and pull request. Yeah. Go to the.
Let us check the content, whatever we have pushed. Yeah. Fifth
Fine.
line, you can see the dev, there is fifth line added and fourth line. If I'll
But,
go to the main branch,
mm,
there you will not get those changes. Okay.
okay. So we will create a pull
Yeah,
request.
you can see only up to third line there
Yeah.
is in the main branch. Okay, we'll
Okay.
try to merge those changes.
Changes to the main.
Then,
Yeah.
yeah, from the dev to main. For that, we can do it from here as well by using git merge command, or else we can do it from the console GUI itself. So what we'll do, we'll come to the dev branch. Yeah. Okay. From then, we'll try to. You can see there is something message is the dev had recent push changes. It will ask you to compare and pull. I'll click on compare and pull. Okay, and then it is going to give you the base branch and the compare branch. Okay, so I'll make it the base branch as
No,
the.
it is correct. Don't change anything,
Yeah.
and just you assign
Yeah.
the reviewer and assignee to yourself.
Yeah.
Okay, right now you are the person only. If you want to assign anyone else, you can
So
assign
I
to.
can add. Okay.
If the more
Yeah.
than one person are working on the same code or in the team, right? Okay, so can
Right.
create a pull request, and you will approve yourself only. Create a pull request. Click on that.
Yeah, you can provide you the title to that pull request. What you are going to, I mean, what and all changes you have made in through across the project. Their title you can provide in some. If you want to give a description, you can do that as well, and then create pull request here. You can see pull request has been created, and it will ask you to the approver. Okay, here in my case, I'm only the approver, or else you can add the rule. So there should be some minimum number of 2 approver or 3 approver, then only it can merge. Okay, in the organization there we have going to provide
and email notification will go also, right? Like whenever the any pull request will come to the approver, so this email notification will come. Okay, yeah.
Right,
So click on the merge pull request.
Merge pull request and then confirm merge.
Okay, now you check the changes in the main.
Okay, that means the message is clear. The merge. I'll come to the main branch, and all those dev branch changes will be reflected on the main branch. Okay, this is the main branch. Okay, I'll open the text. You can see fourth line and fifth line has been added. This is how the branching strategy works in the organization.
So
from the feature to dev, from the dev to main, from the release. Yeah.
Yeah, so there are the different types of branching strategies are there. We have a release branch, and whenever we are releasing the code, and we have a feature branch. Do you have the notes for this? Release branch, feature branch is like whenever I want to add some feature in my existing code, so then we take the code pull from the develop branch and we create our own feature branch. And whenever our code is done, because feature branch, you will be working only yourself, right? Because in your feature branch, nobody will be committing code. So you are, once your work is done, then you will be creating a pull request from feature to develop. And develop to, finally, it will go to the main branch, okay, the master branch. And from master, we have a release branch, okay? So this is the strategies, right? And another type of branch is like we have bug fix branch, right? Hot fix, right? Suppose
hot fix we are saying.
Fix branch. So like suppose some issue we need to fix. So we create a branch, and custom branch also the option, like we can create our own custom branch. So there are the different types of branching strategies like we can follow. Yeah.
Here you can see in my left side, if it is clear, able to see. I have used the Copilot. So it is the AI feature, that means to add onto the Git. So you can, whatever the parallel project for your development, you can use this AI tool, because it is coming by default with the Microsoft product. Okay, you can use this tool to increase your productivity. So I have just typed branching strategy. It provided what is branching strategy, and then it also provide the branch name like main branch, feature branch, pull request branch. Okay, CI/CD, all those things that it explained us. Okay, likewise also we can use the Copilot. Yeah, this is the new
Can
feature
you
added
say,
by Microsoft.
and cherry pick? What is a cherry pick? Actually, one concept is there, cherry pick, and which is very important. Like from one branch to another branch, you want to commit something. There is a cherry pick. Okay, so cherry pick
Yeah.
concept is there, right? So we have like two different branches, right? So we have to pull from one branch, and like we have to pick, and then we have to commit in another branch. Can you go to the description? Is a cosmic command and allow you to plug specific commit from one branch and apply them into the another one, right? So this is cherry pick. So cherry pick, there
Yeah.
is a get cherry pick commit ID. So you have to replace the commit ID with the commit ID you desire. Okay. So in first of all, you should be in a one branch, right? From where you want to merge from the one branch to another branch. So cherry pick we can use. Okay. So this is very useful one. Like when you have the use case where you have to merge from one branch to another branch. Okay. Niranjan, did you tell about this git pull reverse, right? This is like conflict changes, like whenever git stash apply command, like whenever
No.
any, okay. So you can show this, like suppose you have done some local change and you don't want to remove your local change and you want to take pull from the remote repository. So we can make it buffering of our local change in some file. It will do automatically. So we have to use git stash command. Okay. So first you do some changes locally in the same file you do. Don't create new file. In the same file, just do some local change. Yeah. Just add one more line, sixth line. Okay.
Okay.
And now you apply git stash. Okay. So your local changes is stored in some buffer, is this buffer ID. And now you git pull minus rebase. Oh, okay. Do some, no, right now, not. First you do some changes in the remote. Add, after fifth line, you add the seventh line.
Yeah.
Yeah, add here seventh line. Yeah. Save it, commit it. Because we have to merge these two, fifth and sixth. Okay. Now you pull the code. So write git pull minus rebase. Enter. So now conflict will come, right? So we have to resolve the conflict locally. Go locally. Why?
Let me check. Already up to date.
But seventh or sixth line, where you have written that sixth and seventh line?
Okay, because you can see I'm inside of my main branch. Okay, I need to check out to the tab branch. Okay.
The tab you
it
go,
will
right?
work.
Yeah. Because you changes. So get checkout, you change the branch. Yeah.
Yeah. Right now it can, if I'll do nano txt, still.
Okay, do one thing now. Again, you do the local change. I think you did that git stash command in the main branch. Okay. So, but your branch is not changed. It's still showing main. Oh, rebase.
Yeah, there is something called rebase one by one. So that needs to be resolved and then it will work with the dev branch.
Okay. So git stash apply you do. Git stash apply. Okay. Oh, we forgot it. Okay. Because without git stash apply, your local changes will not apply. Oh, that's the reason.
Yeah.
Git stash apply. No space.
Yeah.
H will not come.
Yeah.
Git stash space apply. Space stash STA. No, stash command is wrong.
ST.
Okay, enter. Yeah. Now you now you open file. You will see conflict. See, sixth is coming. Sixth, but seventh is not coming from the remote. Why? Okay, again you do git pull. Did you commit it, update it in the remote repository? Oh, this git. Oh, you didn't do the git add, right? That is the reason.
Yeah.
First you have to, this is untracked change now, right? Because we have to make it git add first. Okay, and git.
This is the seventh line, right?
Yeah, locally what you are doing, locally one. Sixth line.
Local one, sixth line.
Sixth line.
Okay.
Okay. Now you do git stash apply. Well, git stash. No. First we have to do git stash, right? Buffer the change. Okay. Abhi right now it is showing the branch is one commit. Okay. Now you open the file.
Still
Actually,
it is
git
not
pull
coming.
we have not done so yet, right? Git pull rebase, git pull rebase. So git stash you done, okay?
Yeah.
Minus rebase. Okay. Now you check the file, local file. Git
No,
stash
sorry.
apply. Actually, 3 command is there: git stash, git pull rebase, and git stash apply. See, one command done. Okay.
You are
Currently doing
currently reading branch
okay.
main on.
Main. Okay. So git amend or git rebase continue you do. Use git amend to current commit.
Yep.
What is the problem? Git rebase continue.
Yeah, rebase is updated.
Okay,
In the
now
main.
you check it locally file.
No,
Why
still
7th is not your okay, we do from the scratch. Okay, we have the changes, 6th is there, and remote we have 7th line. Okay, so first you do git stash, only git stash you do. Git stash.
no
Okay.
changes is
Oh, so first you do the changes, one create some more changes. Okay, add 8th
I'll
line.
get
Okay, now git stash.
its status to check and modify.
Okay,
and
make
then
it. Yeah, we have to git add and git commit. Git commit. Oh, okay. We don't need to do this commit things. Actually, we have to keep it our changes just to add only. Okay, right? We don't need to do commit thing. Okay, do git pull, rebase. Git
get
pull
pull.
minus rebase. Git pull minus rebase. And
Yeah,
git.
this time it came. This time we need to resolve it. Yeah, here.
7th and okay. So just remove the headline and this line. Backspace. Head. So now 5th, 6th, 7th. Okay. Okay. Git stash apply.
Let's
Okay.
merge.
Needs merge. What merge? Right. This is git stash apply we did. Oh, git push you do. Git push command. I think you are working from the different branch, not dev branch, right? You are trying. That's the reason it's saying remote branch name. That's okay. Dev. Okay. Now refresh your dev branch. No, this is dev only.
No, I need to check out of that. Yeah, 4th, 5th, 7th, 6th is
It's not coming. Git. So what is the? But it is saying Abhi, right now you have done git push. Git push we have done, and okay, git so
One
let
line.
the sixth line one is not coming, right? The we added in the local, the sixth line. Okay. I think you are also not in the same branch. You go in the div. Sixth is there. Add one more line, seventh. Change the branch. But this is not came out. Rebase is still showing. Git no, it is asking merge. Git merge is saying. So git merge dev.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. We have actually merged that code from the browser. Okay, and we have not taken that pull, right? Because here that's why it is creating a problem from local, because we have taken a pull request from here, and then we need to take the pull.
No, whenever the change will come in the remote, then you will create a pull request, right? Change request, right? Abhi right now, see, it is actually there is a forcefully command is there. Git push -f, right? Some that I think if the changes is not going up, we have to use git push minus what is a forcefully command is there -f git push. So what is showing?
Interactive rebase is in progress onto that commit ID.
So what is saying the options? One is they showing git edit rebase -- edit to do, and all conflict git rebase continue. Okay, you do
Yeah.
this one. Then it will come out from the Okay, just control WQ because just we have to save it. Okay, yeah, :WQ, save it. Okay, now you refresh. Could not apply 8th line. No, but what is the 6th line came or not? Can you open this in the remote? In the dev.
No.
Yeah, 7th came, right? 7th was the not there, right? So 6th
7th
line.
was not.
Because you have only taken
Okay, now you do git add and the command git add and push normal. Yeah.
git commit. Maybe 8th line is there. Yeah, this time it should work.
Okay,
this
now
time it is pushed.
mm.
Overally, because some of the audience they have like
This one.
confusion.
Actually, we have not those merge conflict things. We have to like
No, we have not. we
Yeah.
have not like discussed.
So okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so anyone has any question, right? This git is not very big thing, but we need practice, right? Because whenever we are working this git command, so like a lot of things, like we can delete branches or we can, right? There is a delete option also there, right? If you want to delete branch or we want to branches related command are separate commands are there, all commands. Git checkout -b if I want to create a new branch locally, okay, or we have created already branch in the remote and then we want to get that branch, git branch command to get all the branches, right? Name of the branches. Okay. And
I have one doubt, sir. how to implement all of these things in Azure DevOps if I trying to do that in Azure DevOps? Because
Azure DevOps, there are the services are there, right? Git board is there, Azure board, Azure GitHub, right? So there is Azure GitHub is there. Okay. So total 5 artifact services are there: Azure board, Azure Git, Azure what is that? Azure Artifact, right? For the storing the like a Nexus. You can compare it like wherever you say Nexus or JFrog, that is your Artifactory. Okay. And Azure board is like a Jira, right? You have the ticket are there, right? Azure GitHub is like your Azure GitHub is your like a Git, right? Integration with the Git in the backend. Okay. So Azure board, Azure GitHub, and what other one? 2 more are there. Total 5 artifact services are there. So, and Azure pipeline, CI/CD, right? You don't want to use your own like Jenkins. So they have given the wrapper. So they have given the wrapper like a CI/CD pipeline. So you can use the Azure pipeline. Azure pipeline is there. Okay. And if you want to use container services, so Azure provided like Docker container, and Azure provided like Kubernetes container is AKS. So AKS service is there. And GitHub Action is basically Azure separately. If you don't want to use this Azure DevOps, so there is a Azure GitHub Action is there, similar to Jenkins, right? So you can use GitHub Action to you have your YML file and you define the task, and then you can using this YML deployment you do, and then you can do the CI/CD. Okay. So there are multiple ways of doing CI/CD, right? One is Azure DevOps itself is a proprietary, that is a inbuilt. Okay. Second one is a GitHub Action. Okay. And another one is like you want to use third-party open source tools like Jenkins is there, right? And GitLab is there, CI tool. Okay. But suppose you want to do CD, continuous delivery, right? So you have to use like Argo CD or Flux CD, right? You have to use integration of those tools, right? Services, or you have to use. So there is a big pipelines you can create in the Jenkins, right? There is a Groovy script. You can write stages. You can define clone stage, build stage. Okay. So DevSecOps around 10, 12 stages can be there, right? So those things we will see. Okay. And Docker. So everything will come in a one CI/CD pipeline, right? So starting from the Git clone, and then we have a build and deploy, and then we have a SonarQube quality test, and then we have a Trivi, right? That is for like a DevSecOps, right? For vulnerability, right? So those kind of stages we can add in our pipeline for provide more robust and secure pipelines. Okay. And then finally, we have the containers services we can use, right? AKS, or like we can use like Kubernetes, right? So Kubernetes, Jenkins, Docker, everything we can integrate in a one single pipeline. Okay. So there is a use case. I will share the document. One Medium link is there. I will add in the group, and that link is following entire path, right? Entire the around 10 to 12 stages are there. Okay. So we'll see that those one. Okay. So Kubernetes ham also I have to show. So I think tomorrow we'll do the demo for the Docker and Kubernetes concept. Okay. So tomorrow I will be showing the complete demo on the how Kafka, Spark, those are the data engineering guys, especially I'm talking about. If you are data engineering background and you want to learn DevOps and container services, so you have to know this all container services, how to use for the data engineering tools, DataOps. Okay. So this branch is called DataOps. Okay. And in this branch, like you have to know each and everything, how to set up the infrastructure, and then monitoring, configuration, troubleshooting, everything you should know, right? Everything you should know. Okay. So let's see tomorrow, right? You just first prepare Git. See, Git is a fundamental of DevOps. Okay. The very first thing to need to start in the DevOps is Git. Okay. Because even the DevOps is not more related to GitHub, right? Because the only developer is working on the mostly the GitHub, right? Because he's doing code changes, right? But it's a part of Git DevOps. Okay. So that is the reason we need to learn. Okay. But developer, it is foremost essential, right? Without that, you cannot manage your code repository management, right? People are asking which code repositories management tool you have used, right? There is a like SVN is there, CVA is there, and one is this Git is there. Okay, so Git is the most popular one. So next we'll see the Jenkins CI/CD pipeline and one Docker Kubernetes containers, right? So end-to-end applications we can see, right? Kafka and Spark, how can we deploy in containers in the Kubernetes, right? Kubernetes Helm chart. So Helm chart is a advanced part of Kubernetes that is basically providing a repository package manager, right? It's like having some official repositories for the Kafka, Spark, Airflow, NiFi. So we can pull those repositories from the Helm repository. Okay, first we have to add a Bitnami repository, and then we can pull those repositories and we can bring it in our local, and then we can get the pod. So we'll see that some concept of Kubernetes, right? What is the pod, replica set, controller, deployment strategies, and what is the ingress, egress? Okay, what are the different concepts are there, like node port, different types of services are there, node port, load balancer, and node port. What is the else? What else, Niranjan? Node port.
Node port, like, and then ingress controller, and then cluster IP. These are the services that I'm talking about. And load balancer.
Services are there. Node port, yeah, cluster IP and load balancer.
Load balancer.
Yeah. Okay, let's see tomorrow. Okay, so the main like this is a very important session like Kubernetes, because many people are demanding in the infrastructure development through Kubernetes Terraform, and Terraform is the final destination, because the everything can be configured and scheduled through the Terraform, because Terraform can do everything. Okay, whatever manually we are doing, so that things can be scheduled through Terraform. Even Jenkins pipeline you can trigger through Terraform. You can trigger any containers through the Terraform. Everything can be done Terraform. So Terraform, we need to understand the Terraform. There are many more concepts are there. Terraform modules are there. Terraform states are there. So Terraform has a lot of things, but we will see how to create a basic Terraform files, right? TF files, Terraform file. Okay, and these TF file, we write a configuration, right? If I'm going to connect any particular cloud, right? So we will provide the provider and resource. Okay, so which cloud provider we are going to use, AWS, Azure, or GCP. So the Terraform, the main advantage is it's not the cloud dependent, it's a cloud agnostic. Okay, if I go cloud formation in AWS, it's a cloud dependent, right? So we can use Terraform. That is the reason it's more popular, and it is giving more flexibility, right? We can do whatever in cloud manually, everything we can trigger. And like sometimes I need 20 instances or 100 instances, right? So you cannot create manually, right? So Terraform can do, right? So there is a count property we can define in the Terraform script and can create a number of instances. Okay. Okay, so there are a lot of things to learn in DevOps, because DevOps is a more interesting thing, right? The important learning part is in DevOps is because it is like a common methodology for every technology, like even Java, Python, Perl, Ruby, right? PHP, data engineering, machine learning, right? So for every technologies, the DevOps is like having a branch. Okay, so we can learn DevOps for our specific branch. We can learn, right? Okay, if you are having a machine learning, data science, so we have MLOps. If you are learning for just Java, normal Java applications, so DevOps is there, and like DataOps is for the data engineering. Okay. Okay, let's continue tomorrow. Okay, I will share the recording.
I want to Arvind sir. So in the GitLab, so at part capacity, we can store the file. Suppose in one repository, so I want to store the entire project file. So that project file having 1 GB data, 1 GB files and the backup files and all. So can we do that in Git?
See, Git,
Yes,
I don't have this capacity. Do you know about Ranjan?
Yes, that can be done. Yeah, that can be done. But whatever we have with the free tier of that license of GitLab or GitHub, in that I think there is some restriction up to some extent that we can push.
Open source, it will not be available, right? The community will not be available, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Because the 1 GB more than data, right? You mean to say like code you're talking about, right? Code is really huge, right? That 1 GB code, right? It's really huge code, right? Because generally codes are not just MBs, right? Okay, not more than that.
So this community version, we can store up to certain limit, right?
Okay. See, GitLab also paid, right? I'm saying some of the feature, like there is a runner is there, right? Okay. So if you want to use a runner, right? So you have to pay, right? And they will be taking the amount based on the how many build you are doing, correct? The free version, they have some limited like a number of jobs you can run, right? Yeah. Okay, you can pose the question, we can find out answers. So like many people who are working in the real time, they have the knowledge about those things, so they can answer. Yeah. Yes. Okay.
Okay. Thanks. Thanks for that.
Yeah. Thank you, everyone. Yeah. Thanks. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you, everyone. Thanks.